Hello student friends, I am Pawanjay Sudewad, Assistant Professor in Department of English, KTHM College, Nasik. Student friends, in our today's video, in our today's lecture, we are going to discuss one of the important poems prescribed in our TYBA, Special English Paper G3, that is entitled as An Introduction, written by Kamala. Friends, this poem, An Introduction, is autobiographical poem, confessional poem written by Kamala. This poem was first appeared in Kamala's very first volume of poems, which was entitled as Summer in Calcutta, and which was published in 1965. Friends, this is autobiographical poem, self-confessional poem, in which Kamala Das is revealing her private and personal life. In this video, we are going to discuss first 15 lines of this poem. I don't know politics, but I know the names of those in power. This poem begins with personal pronoun I, and this very personal pronoun I reveals that this poem is confessional poem. The poem begins like this: I don't know politics, but I know the names of those in power, and can repeat them like days of week or names of months, beginning with Nehru. I am Indian, very brown, born in Malabar. I speak 3 languages, write in 2, and dream in 1. Don't write in English, they said. English is not your mother tongue. Why not leave me alone? Critics, friends, visiting cousins, every one of you. Why not let me speak in any language I like? The language I speak becomes mine. Its distortions, its queerness, all mine, mine alone. These are first 15 lines of this poem, An Introduction by Kamala Das. Friends, Kamala Das, in a very first opening line of this poem, is telling us that I don't know politics, but I know the names of those in power. She is telling us that she does not know the politics of the country, but she knows the names of those who are in power. This is really a kind of antithetical expression. The poem begins with a kind of antithetical expression. I don't know politics, but I know the names of those in power. 2 opposite words in first expression, in a first clause before but. I don't know politics. I don't know politics, and I know the names. These are 2 antithetical words which make the expression, which brings the expression very opposite ideas. So she is telling us that she does not know politics, or she has to do nothing with politics, but as a matter of information, she knows few names of the politicians, those who are in power, and can repeat them like days of week. And these names she can repeat like days of week or names of months. And these names she is beginning with Nehru, the then Prime Minister of India. In first expression, there is antithesis, figure of speech, and I can repeat them like days of week or names of months. The very observance presence of the word like makes the sentence or expression simile kind of. It is a simile figure of speech we can find in this expression, that I can repeat them like days of week or names of months. This is a figure of speech called simile because this is direct comparison between days of week or names of months and the politician's name. Here Kamala Das is directly comparing names of the politicians with days of week or names of months. Why? Because she repeats their names as days of week or names of months get repeated one after another. She is beginning with the legendary politician, the then Prime Minister of India, Nehru. In further lines, she is saying, I am Indian, very brown, born in Malabar. Here in this expression, she is declaring that she is Indian by birth. I am Indian. She is revealing her nationality, that she is Indian. She is again in further phrase, very brown. She is calling herself, or she is describing her color, that she is brown in color. She is Indian. She belongs to coastal region of Malabar in Kerala. So she is brown in color and born in Malabar region. Kamala Das born in Malabar region. She is brown in color and her nationality is Indian, of course, as she is Indian English poetess. So in this expression, she is revealing her nationality, she is revealing her color and the place where she born. She is Indian by nationality, brown by color, and she hail from the Malabar region. In further line, she is saying, I speak 3 languages, write in 2 and dream in 1. See the multilingualism in this expression. She is telling that she speaks 3 languages, of course, which may be these 3 languages: English, Hindi, and her mother tongue, Malayalam. These 3 languages. I speak 3 languages, write in 2, and dream in 1. What a beautiful expression this is, you see. She knows 3 languages, she speaks 3 languages, but she writes in 2 languages. And she dreams in 1 language. You see, 3, 2, and 1. This is, in this expression, we find anticlimax figure of speech. We find anticlimax figure of speech because the expression or the idea is arranged in declining way. She speaks 3 languages, writes in 2, and dream in 1. This expression supports that. This expression supports to the multilingual thought, multilingual idea of Kamala Das. Being a poet, she loves these 3 languages. That is why she is telling us that she speaks in 3 languages. She writes in 2 languages, English and Malayalam. These 2 languages are English and Malayalam, and dream in 1. This language may be Hindi language, national language. So this expression reveals that Kamala Das loves these 3 languages. And further expression, she is saying, don't write in English, they said. English is not your mother tongue. English is not your mother tongue. So don't write in English. This is what the conservative idea of society, orthodoxical idea of society. Don't write in English, they said. Who are they? They are critics, they are friends, they are visiting cousins, and everyone like us, suggesting, telling Kamala Das that don't write in English. Why? You don't write in English because English is not your mother tongue. That's it. The reason behind this very suggestion of society, or this very completion of society, is that English is not her mother tongue, so she should not write in English language. Why not leave me alone? She is complaining. The tone of complaint. We listen over here in this expression, the tone of complaint. Why not leave me alone? Critics, friends, visiting cousins, and every one of you. At the end, we observe over here interrogative mark. This is interrogative expression. This is question asking expression. Through her poetry, through this expression, she is asking question to her critics, to her friends, to her visiting cousins, and everyone like us. Her critics are not allowing her friends are not allowing her visiting cousins are not allowing her, and telling her that don't write in English, English is not your mother tongue. And she is telling them that, why not leave me alone? Please leave me alone and please let me write in English because I love English language also. Why not let me speak in any language I like? This is the second rhetorical expression in first 15 lines of an introduction. And this is the question to society she is asking over here. Why not let me speak? She is taking permission, or she looking for permission from the society. That why not let me speak in any language I like? And again further she is giving the logical reasoning of her support to these three languages and her support to the language she likes. The language I speak becomes mine. Very true this is. The language I speak becomes mine. Its distortions, its queerness, all mine, mine alone. What a beautiful expression. She's looking for the permission. She's seeking the permission from society, critics, friends, that please allow her to write in English. Why? Because the language she speaks becomes her own language. That is why she is telling us that please allow me to express myself in English. The language I speak becomes mine. This is very true. This is really universal fact. The language which we use becomes our. So in the same way, Kamala Das is telling us here that she speaks English language, she writes in English language, she loves English language. So she wants to write, she wants to express her feelings in English language because it has become her own language. And again she is accepting that whatever the distortions are there, whatever the shortcomings, mishaps are there in her English, these shortcomings she is ready to accept. She does not know what sort of language she is speaking or writing, but she is ready to accept all the distortions of English language. She is ready to accept it. And the queerness, of course, oddness, differentness of that language, she is ready to accept. But in society, perhaps society is not ready to accept these things, the distortions and queerness of the language she is speaking. That is why she is telling us that please allow me because I accept all the distortions and queerness of the language. All these things are, she is telling in the 15th expression of this poem, all mine, mine alone. All the distortions and queerness, mishaps and odd things of this language are mine, mine alone. They have to do nothing with the critics, friends and visiting cousins. That is why she is telling us that. So my dear friends, these are the first 15 lines of this beautiful poem. An introduction. Very three important figures of speech we find in first 15 lines of introduction are antithesis. I don't know politics, but I know the names of those in power. This expression, the very opening line of this poem is antithetical. The very first expression of this poem is antithetical, because two opposite ideas she is putting forward and telling us that she don't know politics, but she knows the names. The second figure of speech, I can repeat them like days of week or names of months. This is simile figure of speech, because the names of politicians or the names those who are in power are directly compared with days of week and names of months. And another figure of speech we can find over here, that is what? I am Indian, very brown, born in Malabar. Brown and born, alliteration brings musical kind of music to our ear. It brings a musical rhythm to our ear. I am Indian, very brown, born in Malabar. This brings sweet musical quality to our ear, this expression. That is why this is alliteration figure of speech we can find in this expression. So dear friends, in the very first 15 lines, Kamala Das is referring to the politics. Few names she is uttering over here, and she has taken the name of the great name Nehru, the then first Prime Minister of India. Then she is telling us about her identity, her color, and the place where she born, and then she is telling us about the language she is using, the language she is speaking, and how society is opposing her from using the English language. She is expressing her love, her devotion, her affection towards English language and her mother tongue also. So thank you very much, student friends, for listening me. In our next video we will be discussing next 15-20 lines of the same poem. Till the time, goodbye, take care, see you again. Thank you very much.